I'm not gonna be here too long, but I do got good news. Afroman won his case. Now, a lot of y'all may already know this. Some of y'all may not. For the ones that do, cool. For the ones that don't, now you know. Shout out to Simone. Excuse me, let me get this right. Eternity. Uh, damn, I can't say it. Her name is Simone Redwine. She, she is. I think she's a tax lawyer, and a property lawyer, out of the state of Texas. I think that's what she is. I think she is a tax lawyer, and I am gonna have another one concerning another something um about her and Tasha K got into it. Well, basically Tasha K basically said that she wasn't a real lawyer. This, that, and the third. It's just a whole bunch of bogus ish that was going on. Um, with that being said, let me hurry up and get into this Afro Man. Again, shout out to Simone Redwine. Give me 1 second.
Hey y'all, it's your legal bestie, Attorney Simone, and congratulations to Afroman. Now, if you don't know who Afroman is, don't worry, you don't need to know. I'll let you know. We're going to break this down and why this is one of the craziest defamation slash freedom of speech cases of our generation. So, this is Afroman. Now, Afroman, not to be disrespectful, but I'm gonna go ahead and call him a one-hit wonder. He is known for the rap song that he did back in the early 2000s called "Because I Got High," and I can't play it for you because obviously YouTube will flag me.
And it's
But the gist of
copyright.
it was, because I got high, la 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 la, because I got high. Literally, that is all that he says in the song. So let me give you the backstory on the raid, and then we're going to talk about why this case is so crazy. We're going to play some clips, and we're also going to talk about why this may not be the end of this whole lawsuit, because he is still entitled to justice and the
Right.
jack-leg judge. Ultimately, this guy was found, so he was sued by these police officers that illegally raided his home and stole money from the home. They stole about $6,000 in cash from his home. I'm going to go through those facts. And then, in order to, they busted down doors. They towed his house up. When I say tow, I mean tow his house up. So he said, hey, let's make a music video, sell it, make some money to recoup some of my losses. Well, these little coppers, this is in Ohio, they got upset. They got upset.
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but every time I've seen incidents involving black people and Ohio cops, there has always been a hint of racism behind it. Every single time there's been an incident with Ohio cops and black folks, excuse me, there has always been an incident of racism. Always. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
That sued him for defamation, and he won. Sort. He absolutely won. The jury, there was a jury, the jury found that he won. But this old raggedy ass judge had the audacity to say the party should split the cost. Not never. No. When you win in America, when you win a civil suit, the loser pays court costs, period, point blank, no questions asked. But we're going to talk about that jackleg judge in a moment. But I want to make sure first, let me know where you're watching from, and I'm going to give you kind of just a backstory. So, back in August of 2020, Afroman was living in Ohio, and his Ohio home was raided by the police. Now, according to home surveillance video, half a dozen pow pow wielding law enforcement officers from the Adams County Sheriff's Office, those deputies literally kicked down his door. They combed through his CD collection, went through his suit pockets even, and flipped through a wad of cash, according to NPR. Now, they were executing a warrant that alleged his house contained evidence of substance trafficking and kidnapping, according to the Post. Officers found
And it was a
no
lie.
such evidence, but instead they seized about $5,000 in cash from him, which he said he earned from gigs. After the raid, Afro Man then wrote a number of songs that pissed off the cops. And the songs were about his frustration with the situation because they were not giving him his money back either. So I'd be mad too. Now, the songs appeared on his album that's called Lemon Pound Cake. Okay? Talking about these fat cops. Lemon Pound Cake. So if you want to support him, go ahead, stream Lemon Pound Cake wherever you stream your music, and he's called Afroman. Now, the rapper's real legal name is Joseph Foreman. Now, he wasn't at home at the time of the raid that happened. However, his ex-wife and children were in the house at the time, scared them half to death, y'all. And he says, quote, I asked myself, as a powerless black man in America, what can I do to the cops that kicked my door in, tried to unalive me in front of my kids, stole my money, and disconnected my cameras? Let's think about that for a second, y'all. Why would you
Why did they
disconnect
disconnect his
somebody's
camera?
cameras if you are committing a lawful warrant search? Because you're not. You're not doing it legally. You're doing some unscrupulous things, okay? And then Afroman also stated, he said, and the only thing I could come up with was to make a funny rap song about them, use the money to pay for damages that they did, and move on with my life. He said the album title itself is a reference to one of the sheriff's deputies who busted down the front door. Lemon Pound Cake became a public condemnation of the deputies and their tactics, according to the Post. Now, Afroman then ridiculed the officers in music videos. He also sold merchandise, sold them and made social media posts, and used footage of them from his own home security cameras in a lawsuit. They are claiming invasion of privacy. We're going to get to that. The song nods, it says, to a moment in the footage when an officer appears to do a double take at a cake sitting on Afroman's kitchen table. He don't, oh, oh, I want that lemon pound cake. Does it? You hungry hippo. Then it says 7 officers sued Afroman. They sued his label,
Call the guy
and they
hungry,
sued a
hungry
music
hippo.
distribution service that was distributing his music. The officers allege that he unlawfully used their personas for a commercial purpose and then subjected them to emotional distress and humiliation, the Post reported. Now, 7 officers sued him in March of 2023. Y'all, this is going on for 3.
Well, if these cops don't grow a pair of nuts, weak ass cops, grow some damn balls.
Years. They sued him for defamation. They sought the contents removal, taking down the videos, and $3.9 million in damages. Now, they quote, I feel I have every right to do what I'm doing, Afroman says. And previously to the post, he said, and I think I took the most smartest positive route. I didn't go flip them off in the middle of the street or throw trash cans through the sheriff's department door. He said, I licked my wounds. I made songs. I did the best I could do. And no charges were filed against Afroman. None, because he did
Zero.
nothing wrong. Now, finally, the jury ruled in Afroman's favor on all of the counts. Last week, Afroman defended his music at trial, and on Wednesday, the jury said, ruling in his favor on all counts. The trial lasted 3 days, y'all, okay? And the whole raid was a mistake, Afroman said during his testimony. He said, all of this is their fault. If they had not wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their
Exactly.
names. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system, and there would be no songs. Nothing. Afroman's trial explored the freedom of speech. That's really what matters here. And during the trial, fundamental questions about policing, the Constitution, such and such, went on. He says, I didn't win. America won, Afroman says. And he told reporters outside the courtroom he is dressed like an American flag. He wore that suit, y'all, looking crazy every day. But let me tell you this. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what's really messed up, y'all. We getting into it, all right? I'm going to be flagging your questions as they come across because I want to make sure I get to answer as many of them as possible. Here's one of the things that really got me riled up as an attorney. Do you know those 7 cops that sued him got free lawyers? Free. See, when you sue for defamation, generally
Wait a minute. Whoa,
you
whoa,
have to
whoa, whoa,
hire
wait a
an
minute.
hourly.
Wait a minute. They got free lawyers. How they? How did they do that? Hold on.
Lawyer. Defamation is not a contingency fee type of case. If you hear nothing else, make sure you understand this. The reason why is as lawyers, the only kinds of cases that we take on contingency are cases with a guaranteed payment stream. Hear me out. Meaning that's usually where an insurance policy is going to pay us. That would be a car accident, an Uber accident, an 18-wheeler. Because what happens is by the time we take that case, the insurance company has accepted fault. All we are arguing about is how much is the damages our client suffered worth.
Right.
So if you're ever thinking, oh, will they take this case? No. A breach of contract, hardly ever. No, we don't take those contingency because once we win breach of contract, one, there's no insurance on the other side. So then now we got to go fight and argue with people to try and get money. Not sure if you knew that. Here, though, the cops, their little coppers
I'll be
in here,
right back, y'all. Be right back.
paid for them to sue. They saw this as a publicity thing. Taxpayer money should not be used for this type of bull, y'all. I want to start playing. I'm going to play some
And the
clips for you.
taxpayers
Before we get to
pay for the
that, don't
lawyers.
forget, I am.
The fact that the taxpayers pay for the lawyers should be an investigation within that town and the police department itself.
Your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. If you ever want to schedule a consultation with me, you can go to simoneredwine.com. If you're injured anywhere in the United States, those consults are absolutely free. You can book it online or you can give us a call. If it's for non-injury, 30-minute consultations start at $199. All right, back at it now, y'all. All right, I'm going to play this clip for you. Now, apparently, this is the quote confidential informant that called the police and told them to go search this man. Y'all, wait till you see this child of God. Wait till you see her. Look at her. Bless her heart. Bless her heart and her 3 teeth. Okay. Now, this is posted from Afroman's page. Afroman is saying, this is the unconfidential informant who had my home raided. PD officer Baby making Brian Newborn Newland raided my house. I think Brian may have cheated on his wife and made a baby. I'm not exactly sure. It says, based on the words of this woman in this video, her name, y'all, is Tasty Tasha Cham. I'm pretty sure her first name isn't Tasty, but Tasty Tasha Chamberlain is her name. And it says, since this woman's words were good enough to get my house raided in some sort of military style, I demand an investigation be opened on PD officer, calling them that name, baby making Brian Newborn Newland, with the same woman he raided my house for, the unconfidential informant, y'all. Tasty Tasha. Here's what Tasty Tasha has to say. It looks like she's in a Homewood suite. Look, you see how it's a double bed there? Bless her heart. Tasty Tasha that is not even a Homewood suite, y'all. That might be the red roof yet. Here we go.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, hold on. Hold on.
The Sonic $6 All-American Smasher Meal. Great burger, even greater deal.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, y'all got to hear.
Brian Newland had me suck his dick in the interrogation room. Then he told me about all the young girls that he had sex with in Adams County.
Okay.
Let's hear it here.
Why does she look like a junkie?
Then he told me about all the young girls.
I wish I had the ability to screen share. I don't know how. I don't have the ability to screen share. But again, you can see this on Girl. Is that legal to see the visuals? Let's get back into it.
He had sex with in Adams County.
Well, what a way to become an informant.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, she's informing people of something. She's letting them know something. Something. Now, I'll tell you this. I'm going to be playing some clips, y'all. And if YouTube flags a clip that's playing audio, what I'll have to do afterwards is I'm just going to go and, like, that section will be muted. So if you're watching this in a playback and there's a muted section, don't worry. It'll just be a few seconds while certain music is playing. That I, was listening to. Now, here's a clip. I want you to see this. This is an officer that is being questioned. This is Officer David Osborne. Oh, Officer Osborne, his feelings are so hurt. Osborne. Ozzy's upset because he's getting questions, because he is upset and he's sued because Afroman called him Quasimodo. Now, if you have been watching this channel, you know, number one, defamation can only be based on facts, not opinions.
Bingo.
If I say you look like Quasimodo, that is my opinion. You might look like Quasimodo. They're saying it also painted him in a false light. Here's what I want you to understand. Remember, these police officers are claiming an invasion of privacy.
One second again, y'all. Hold on.
Showing by taking his own home camera footage and using that to turn it into a video, lemon pound cake, and selling it. Here's the law on using private footage. Now, anywhere where you have an expectation of privacy, private footage cannot be used. Here's the kicker. You have an expectation of privacy in the restroom. So even if like girls are in the restroom and they're taking pictures of themselves, they cannot take your photo. In a doctor's office, you'd have that. In a hospital, you'd have that. Where you don't have it is on the street. And check this one out. I hadn't learned this one in law school when I used to watch Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator. There is no expectation of privacy in someone else's home. Now, it is in their bathroom, like in their, you're not expected to be recorded on the toilet, or anything like that. But if you are in their living room, if you are walking through their kitchen, grabbing a piece of pound cake while committing a raid, you have no expectation of privacy, especially not as a effing cop. And I'm going to say it like that because I know some of y'all are watching this at work. Here's why you don't have that. Hello, police officers wear body cams. And then what happens? You can, any media entity or individual, right, can do an Open Records Act request to ask for copies of that footage. That's how we know you don't have no expectation of privacy. So let me tell you the real God's honest truth. The truth is they had this old man lawyer, judge, and the judge was not on Afroman's side. The judge from Jump. I'm gonna put my big face on the screen because you need to see every word of this. The judge from Jump was siding with the cops. Here's why.
He good, old boy. What do you
If I
expect?
had been Afroman's attorney, and his attorney did an amazing job. I didn't see where his attorney did this, but maybe he did. The first thing I would have said is, change of venue. We got to get the fuck up out of there. The reason being is when you're in smaller counties like that, Ohio County, those judges, generally, they are both criminal and civil judges, which means the very lawyers bringing that civil suit are in his court all the time. All the time. He has to, they come to him to get warrants signed. That very warrant, I bet you he signed it. Or I bet you a magistrate signed it. So it is inappropriate for any judge in that county to preside over a civil case to determine whether the very cops that he has to work with on a daily basis should give $4 million. Fuck you and your mama too. And your mama too. Now, the counties that I practice in and come from, they know better. Dallas County would never. Harris County would never. But you know why? Also because those counties, I'm gonna say it, they have black female judges. So frequently, I've seen with black female judges, they don't want the issue of a recusal motion. So if you say, Your Honor, I would like, we're going to move to recuse. A lot of times I've
Yes,
seen
this is
judges say,
all
it's fine,
right.
I'll recuse myself. Not a problem. Because what happens is when they recuse, it gets it off their docket. They don't want to deal with your stupid ass, this stupid type of thing. So they move over. So anyway, from what I've seen, Afroman's lawyer did not ask the judge to recuse himself. But even if you're not asked, a judge was called sua sponte on his own, could have recused and should have. I had never seen a judge so clearly and obviously in favor of the plaintiff. Here, these 7 cops. There was an interaction, I don't know if I'm going to play it for you, but there was an interaction where Afroman's judge is simply asking this cop a portion of his claim and saying, are you saying that Afroman did such and such and such? He goes, ask somebody. And
Really, dude?
ask somebody is not is not an answer. It's a yes or no fucking question. Is it yes or is it no? So the lawyer goes to the judge and says, Judge, please direct the witness to answer my yes or no question. You know what the judge said? The judge said he answered. No, he didn't. Because what happens is on appeal, if you don't answer yes or no on appeal, that failure to respond cannot be used for what's called a directed verdict, or it can't be used to say, hey, Your Honor, they didn't prove their claim because we specifically asked, did Afroman do such and such to you? And your answer is, ask Afroman. I'm asking your ass. Can you imagine if your mama looked you in your eye when you were a teenager and said, did you do such and such? And you say, ask somebody else.
Turned you gay? If I was dropped on my head in the grocery store when I was like 2, that was done.
Let's continue, because these people are already pissing me off. So we already did Tasty Tasha. Now, I want you to see, how about here it is.
247,000 followers.
Yeah, I just got some of them the other day.
You got new ones coming all the time.
Not all the time, just here.
So this is,
I don't have StreamYard.
this is the attorney for the other side trying to claim that Afroman
I may
has
drop the
done
link in the
all of
future,
this
but
for
I'm
publicity. I don't give a flying fart if he did. He
well.
has every right to. Keep
Okay,
in mind, the cops
Nightbot.
stole his money. It took like over a year for him to
That
get
wasn't me.
his
That was Nightbot.
$5,000 a day. Thieving. Also, just FYI, anyone, if they wanted to, can file a complaint against the judge for the judge being inappropriate, for the judge basically being biased in favor of you don't even have to be in Ohio. Anybody, just in case, maybe your granny is bored and she can still read and stuff. We might want to print out that little application for. I'm just saying.
Again,
Here
if
we
you're
go.
still here, I do not drop the link currently at this time. I
Get
may in
this
the
volume
future,
back
but right now I
on.
do not drop the link.
They ain't mad at him because he got followers. Here we go.
Bigger people than me, but I'm all right.
And on Instagram, is it fair to say that you have 247,000 followers?
Yeah, I just got some
Oh.
the other day.
You got new ones coming all the time
Not all the time, just here lately.
because the trial's coming.
Wait a minute. Y'all do see
Hmm?
that this man is testifying in American flag sunglasses. If it was my client,
I didn't even know the
strongly
sunglasses
advise him
match
not
his
to do
suit
that.
now.
But when you have a client like him, really, you can't tell that man to do nothing.
Nope.
He's gonna do what he's gonna do, and that's that. Okay, here we go. Here's another one.
Yes.
What is it? Could you read it for us?
They stole my money.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an officer testifying about how Afroman's music videos have impacted him. And this comes from the page, I'm not a lawyer, but, and I just love her content. She has both the YouTube channel and, of course, Instagram. And she writes, on day one of the Afroman trial, Chief Officer Brian Newland testifies about the impact Afroman's social media posts and his videos have had on him. Afroman has said Newland is a thief, a PDF, pedo. And Newland's brother is also a pedo. Newland said, a PDF. Newland says he's been embarrassed, ridiculed, and more because of these statements. How about you quit stealing from people then, stupid? Also, remember, guys, the same law that's protecting Afroman here is the same law that protects racist hate speech. Right? It's the freedom of speech. So just how racists and the KKK can get together and burn crosses in our yards and all kind of crap. Well, they can't burn in your yard. That's actually considered threatening. But they can say what they want. Now he gets to. Now here's what the cop says was so damaging to him.
Go ahead and play.
Videos selling my proof. How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short? You vandalized my property, and then you filed a lawsuit, property. So I'm rapping. What I can talk about what happened. Videos I exposed my cause.
Okay, this is just him describing the case.
Could you read what that said?
Yeah, Brian Newland stole my money.
Brian
And
Newland
they
stole my
pissed
money.
off about it.
And that was just published in the last few days, as far as you know?
Yes.
You take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short. You vandalized my property, and you filed a lawsuit, property.
Wait, the lawyer says, okay, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. But no, so the money was short. The money came up short. How are you going to steal somebody else's money? Have it come up short. And they got that audacity to be mad at them. Are you crazy? Must be. Must be. Hold on, here's another clip. Oh, this is a fave. Okay. Now, this is witness Justin Cooley, another officer. This witness, he speaks directly to Afroman. You are never supposed to speak to the defendant
Sure
when
ain't.
you're a witness. He is just a punk
And
wimp.
this idiot
And that's
supposed to
okay,
be a
Colin.
cop
I'm talking about
doing
the
this
lame kind.
with lame ass.
It enraged the community, and it got to the point that we were receiving death threats at work.
Oh, well.
It got to the point that my family felt unsafe. It got to the point where we would get a call that says, "Oh, I'm coming down there. I'm coming down to do whatever." It was a threatening call, and then we get a call about a tree down there and a lawn repair. and we'd have to go.
Whiny
I'm
ass
not going down
bitch.
there. I mean, this could be a setup. This became. We were afraid. We were legitimately afraid that this was going to turn from what it was into something that's violent.
Serious.
Because he used his position of power to spread a lie. You enrage the community.
Where did he lie
It was
at,
not a lie.
jackass?
They stole that man's money. That money came up $400 short. That's that. One of the officers claims, "Oh, I just miscounted." Yeah, it's funny. You miscounted other people's money, but if it was your money, I bet it would have been miscounted. You lying thief.
And you put me and my family in danger of this.
Allegedly, it's an alleged lying thief. At this point, the jury agrees with Afroman, so he's an alleged thief. Officer Justin, if you'd like me to clarify any statements, I would be happy to do that, but I think that you're a piece of shit.
Every bit of this was a lie, and you knew it.
And you're a dickhead.
Just address disregard the court.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Judge.
The lies can.
Now hold on. Okay, wait. Before we got to go to Little Susie. We've got to go to Little Susie. This is what I call her. I don't know what her name is. I don't care, and I think she's stupid. Lisa Phillips is her name. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Now, this is Lisa. Lisa is don't go nowhere till you watch Lisa. All right. Now, this is a section, y'all, where if you don't hear audio, then that's why. But it's okay if you don't hear the audio. Just watch fat ass, stupid ass Lisa. Okay. Officer Lisa Phillips began crying on the stand as her attorney played multiple videos of Afroman mocking her. Phillips is suing Afroman for defamation and the invasion of privacy. Again, you have no privacy right coming into my fucking house. Sorry, coming into my freaking house. You don't have a right of privacy
So
in
hell
my house.
don't.
I may have a right of privacy, but you don't. So y'all, that's how come.
Ah, damn it. Hold on.
Come with To Catch a Predator, they were able to show people's faces. It was because the minute they stepped into those persons, even though it was a set, the minute they stepped into a house, you lose your right of
Fair
privacy.
damn
I hope that
game.
makes sense in the chat. The minute you step into someone else's house, you lose your right of privacy, which makes sense,
Fair
right?
game.
People have camcorders, they have security cameras, they have all that kind of stuff. And what they choose to do, someone can take that security camera if they want and make a video. There is nothing illegal about that. And here, because of the fact that these were police officers, they sure don't get it right. All right, so it says the post came after Phillips, Lisa Phillips, was a part of the team that raided his house. Here we go.
Right.
Here's Lisa, little sad little Lisa. Lisa's life is worried, is ruined. Poor Lisa. Wait, I did that wrong. I don't want to make the words bigger. I want to make the picture bigger. Lisa's life is ruined, not because she's an ugly, horrible, ugly on the inside. She's just a little weather beat.
She's not too fine for fighting about something that's bigger than mine.
Lick 'em low. Lick 'em low. That's her running, y'all. He's the one crying.
She raided my house. She raided my house. She disconnected my camera.
Disconnected the camera.
I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Y'all keep on laughing. She's gonna eat your wife's pussy.
Oink, oink, oink. No, I want to fight you. Y'all, if anybody can help me find Lisa's Facebook page, I just want to go to it and just leave oink, oink messages. This is not based on her BMI. This is based on her being a terrible human being. for having it. It's one thing to raid someone's house incorrectly. It's a whole nother thing to then sue them for $4 million, try to ruin them, bankrupt them. Because remember, all the police officers, they had their legal fees paid from the police union. Whatever insurance, there's like an insurance policy that comes from them. Like the police officers got a free lawsuit. That man had to sacrifice for his family after these people done tore him up. Come on, let's see what else Lick 'em Low Lisa's did. Look at him. You know you want to nod. Look at him, he's nodding. Oh, he's nodding. He like this, don't they? Come on.
He is legit with
Show snipple loud.
you selfish kind of cop. Oh.
I did a show one night, and this girl said, hey, Afroman, I want to give you some sisters.
Yo, look at the video, look at the video.
You really don't know her. I know this
Look at the
voice is
I'm still here, y'all.
got a big old
a slower.
mic patch.
She's classified.
Why does she look like a plain stranger?
Damn, she got a
Your
man's
chair was
face.
lovely.
Something that's bigger than mine.
Take them on.
Oh, hey, Rain.
She made my house. She made my house. She was my camera. She went down on my spouse.
Went down on my spout. Come on.
Ah, come
She went down on my spouse.
Went down on my spout. Come on. Here's the thing. Defamation. Songs are hardly ever going to be defamation. Songs are expected to be parodies, to be exaggeration. He is literally saying that this Yosemite Sam, park ranger looking chick was Lick 'em Low Lisa. Now, let's just be honest. I love a Subaru just like anybody else. If I went on, sorry girl, if I went on The Price is Right and Bob Barker, he's dead or whatever, daycare, offered me a Subaru, I'd take one just like anybody else. But Lisa, she looked like a Subaru driving lesbian, if you ever see one. And he's basically claiming that she licked up on his wife, ex-wife, I guess. So, I mean, which is a joke. It's a kind of tasteless one, but well, who cares? All right, now we're almost done, y'all. There's like 2 more clips I want to play for you guys, 2 or 3. This is an officer. This is Officer David Osborne. He's upset. I don't think I played this one for y'all because Afroman said he looked like Quasimodo. Now, if you don't know who Quasimodo is, that's the hunchback from Notre Dame. Quasimodo. All right. Now, here's what happens with Quasimodo. Yeah.
This.
Quasimodo from the Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I've never watched it, so I don't know.
Then how do you know it's a bad thing? Well, it could be cute.
So you would agree that when a person says that someone's a crooked defense attorney, they're not meaning that I'm like a vine, they're meaning that as a opinion, correct?
Correct.
He is stupid.
Would you agree that when someone calls you a thief, it might be an opinion of theirs?
Can be, yeah.
Yep.
Same as if when people say crooked cops, it's just an opinion?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so is your entire claim for false light that you were called a thief?
Yes.
Hey guys, a false light claim or defamation cannot be based on opinions. It has to be based on facts. But y'all, this is why this was a crooked judge. This is why it is clear this was a crooked judge, because this should have never made it to trial. The judge should have looked at all the statements that were at issue and said, hey, look, these are opinions. These are exaggerations of songs. These are not facts. They're
Right.
not factually, Afroman is not factually saying you are Quasimodo. Secondly, Afroman is saying you're a thief in his opinion because you stole his $400. Good. Stupid. I'm going to let him finish.
Okay, I'm back, y'all.
I would agree that Mr. Foreman is an artist, subject to exaggeration.
You're being stupid.
I guess I,
And just for the sake of question,
So false light is literally holding someone in a false light to the public. So literally, if you call someone, great example, Tasha K, Cardi B. How Tasha K said
Yep.
Cardi B was a hooker and did substances. That is putting her in a false light to the public because it's not true.
nobody would ever think you're Quasimodo from the book, correct?
guess they,
Stupid.
people think different things.
These people are slow. Slow as hell. Slow as hell.
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback
Yes.
and specifically compared you to Quasimodo?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
The-
Now I want to switch. I want you to see it from this angle. I need you to see one more time him running from Officer Lisa.
You don't know it.
Look at him.
I noticed her voice is a few octaves lower. She's not celebrity. She's not fine, but she's
She looks so manly.
something that's bigger than mine. Come on.
He sings "Lick 'em low, lick 'em low, Lisa," and look how she running. She need to be behind somebody's desk. She gonna blow her back out trying to do that. She's gonna blow it out. That's what's gonna happen there. All right, and then here's the attorney asking for like $4 million for stupid
I'm
ass.
asking you to
1.5.
put $1.5 million
Made it to my
in that verdict form.
Shut up.
$1.5 million for Lisa Phillips, for what she's been through for 3.5 years.
Oh, girl, they can't run. Nobody cares. Now, this is the last clip I'm going to show. This is my favorite clip. And then we're going to talk about why it's not necessarily over for Afroman if he wants our support, etc. Okay. Now, this woman in her bangs here, don't she look like she could have served the hell out of some macaroni cheese in a 1990s cafeteria? I mean, scoop to scoop, or one of those pizzas. Y'all know them kind of like Tostinos, real thin, almost like paper. That lady she looked like the lunch lady of the 90s, queen lunch ladies. Anyway, all right, so one of the police officers that is suing Afroman, one of the cops suing, he said he got a divorce because the music Afroman was making about him. And this here is his ex-wife, her and her bangs, just as sweet as can be. I'm not talking about her, but I'm telling you, if she was making the pizza, I'm getting in line, okay? If it was a pizza day and she's serving it, I want those bangs putting the pizza or the macaroni and cheese on my plate. So it says, this is his ex-wife on the stand contradicting everything that he was suing me for. Make sure we take a listen. All right. I need you to see the focus on the words and the bangs. Just give them a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see it.
Nothing as a whole affected your life any at all?
Confidence is not a mindset, it's an achievement. In the GFC's Sierra
No.
So the post never affected your life, never affected your marriage.
No.
You never sought a protective order against your ex-husband, did you?
Yes, I did when we divorced. The divorce, yes. I had a restraining order.
Did you got a restraining order?
Yes, I did.
Say that again, please.
A hunchback or Dane.
Hunchback Norman Dane?
However you say it.
Notre Dame, maybe? Hunchback of Notre Dame.
So who is Sean Grooms?
Sean Grooms is one of the police officers suing me. In the deposition, he said that he got a divorce because of me. My attorney reached out to his ex-wife, and come to find out, he actually got a divorce because he was having sex with like meth head, crackhead women on duty. He was giving them what I call penis plea deals.
Whoa. Okay then.
I recently got divorced.
Did she divorce you solely because of this?
Not
Hold on. When you see a man show up to a deposition in a faded Kmart t-shirt with a pocket square on it, he don't give a fuck. He don't care. He don't care. This is what it looks like when he ain't paying for the lawyer. He just got up. He didn't even shower. I don't think he brushed his teeth. I think he wears dentures, and he probably just pulled them out the little denture container. And this man, he just woke up. He took them dentures, just, he just kind of did like this, put them in his mouth. And then he said, what do I have on this floor that I don't have to iron? And then he put it on his body, and he headed on into the deposition. He gives zero. I mean, it's faded. Not even faded glory. That's the high-end brand at Walmart. Okay, let's hear the rest of whatever this man's about to lie about.
Sean, she's a Sean, grooms, girls, high on shrooms, drops, his fruit of the looms, and cheap, hotel room. Then he
Fruit of the loom, that's
Were
what
they
I
laughing
meant.
and joking about it?
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Yes.
Has Mr. Warren's posts
Hey,
about
18.
Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County
I'm
Sheriff's Department
I'm
as a
almost
whole
done with it,
affected
18.
your life any at all?
Almost done
No.
with the slide.
So the posts never affected your life, never
Thank you
affected
for
your
being
marriage.
here.
You never sought a protective order against your ex-husband, did you?
Yes, I did when we divorced. The divorce, yes. I had a restraining order.
Did you got a restraining order?
Yes, I did.
Say that again, please.
A hunchback or Dane.
Hunchback Norman Dane?
However you say it.
Notre Dame, maybe? Hunchback of Notre Dame.
So who is Sean Grooms?
Sean
Okay.
Grooms is one of the police.
So remember, that's Sean Grooms. And remember, this crackhead lady, hold on, let me make sure we're talking about the same lady. Oh, no. The crackhead lady, Tasty Tasha, she made allegations against a different officer there. That was a Brian Newborn. Just want to make sure it wasn't the same one. But all right. So when I spoke earlier and I said, hey, it doesn't necessarily need to be over. Here, I'm mad, y'all. I'm hotter than fish grease. Okay? As my Uncle Craig and my Uncle Keith would say. Here we go. I'm madder than fish grease. Here's why. Have to pick my words carefully. I have sponsors. Is that the unlawful judge dismissed all of his counterclaims against the police. So for harassment, for a variety of different things that they did to the judge dismissed that. This man, I believe, has civil.
Now, here's the thing. Why did the judge dismiss harassment when there's clear evidence of it? They damaged his property and they harassed him, which he tried to sue the police department for, but the judge dismissed it. Sounds like corruption, you ask me.
Rights-related claims. You have civil rights-related claims.
Right.
If you have civil rights-related claims, those can be brought in federal court.
Bingo.
Actually, if this had been brought in federal court, it would have been dismissed and never even went to trial. Because federal judges, I've mentioned this before, are lifetime appointments. They know what they're doing. You actually have to be good to be a federal judge. This is no diss to anyone I know who is a state court judge, but state court judges are elected. So think of homecoming queen. So think of homecoming queen versus valedictorian. Swear to God, not joking. If anybody wants to search something about it. So my point is, so under that.
Oh Lord, hold on.
Federal civil rights rules, he could still file a federal civil rights action against these crooked cops. Now, I
And he
pulled up the
should.
statute of limitations, and it varies. It's 2 to 4 years. The good news is if it's four for Ohio, we would be within that statute of limitations. So, Afro Man, if you want to pursue something federally against these crooked cops, let us know so we can. I will drop a link below. Now that's the GoFundMe to get behind. Forget Tasha Curry and her trying to give Cardi B 4 million. I would like to give this man some money to hire attorneys to federally prosecute the crooked cops.
I woke up craving pancakes this morning, so naturally I made them into a rug. And honestly, it might be one of my favorite rugs I've
have in fact harassed him.
We're almost done,
who
y'all.
did in fact steal money from him, etc. What do y'all think? Let me know. So someone is, oh, you guys have a great question. Can he appeal it? Appeal is too dangerous. So when you win, no, you what would you appeal? So the answer is no. He can't appeal because he won. Well, the only thing, sorry, I see what you're saying. Could he appeal the dismissal of his counterclaim? Absolutely. Problem is, what happens in state court is when you appeal, if it gets reinstated, you're in front of the same crooked judge you were before the last time.
Ah, hell nah.
We don't want that unless he files a motion to recuse that judge, which is totally possible. Instead, I think federal court is where he should go because those judges know this stuff is inappropriate. He did countersuit. Yeah, he countersuit, and the judge dismissed it. This judge, remember, if you're new to the live, in this county, it's a smaller county. These judges do both civil and criminal. So this same judge has these same 7 cops in his court on a weekly basis. Hey, will you sign this warrant? They testify in front of him. Blah 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 blah. He knows them extensively. That is why it is totally inappropriate. But for Afro Man, congratulations. This is excellent
Damn
for the freedom
right.
of speech.
Congratulations to Afro
hope
Man.
you sue the pants off these. If the statute of limitations has not expired for federal court, go on down that federal courthouse, honey. Go and get these little fools. Because this is trifling. Y'all hit that
Very
like, hit
trifling.
that share. It's your legal bestie. Let me know what else you'd like me to cover this week.
That's the end of that. I thank y'all for being here. Like, share, subscribe. I hope and pray see y'all again soon. Peace.